If I could give every American family a 2-minute heads up for this next week on what they should be worried about, it's probably what I'd tell them. Hey, I'm Asay. I'm the Executive Director of Jase Response. I'm also a physician assistant, military veteran, and an expert in disaster response with Jase. So first, the biggest threat for many American families this week. It's not international conflict, even though that's what we focus a lot on. It's really the weather. Dangerous heat continues across large parts of this country, increasing the risk of heat illness, wildfire, and power outages. So if you live in a high-risk area, now's the time to review your evacuation plan and make sure that you have enough water, medications, and fuel that you need to leave quickly. And because of that, drought continues to expand across much of the West and the plains. It doesn't make headlines every day, but drought increases wildfire danger, strains water supplies, it affects agriculture, and it eventually shows up at your grocery store. It's a slow-moving threat. It's easy to ignore until it suddenly affects your community. Now, these cyber attacks that we've been talking about, they remain a growing concern. Federal agencies continue to warn about foreign hackers targeting utilities, communications, and energy. You may never hear about these attempts, but if one succeeds, the effects could be disastrous and very local. So ask yourself one question. Could your family comfortably manage 48 hours without electricity, internet, or air conditioning? So the tensions in the Middle East, they continue to rise, and most Americans aren't likely to be directly affected. But these conflicts reach us through higher fuel prices, supply chain disruptions, cyber attacks, and occasionally acts of violence, especially in the current riot season, as people's emotions are high. But it's not something to panic about yet. All right, one story that's worth watching is the continuing investigation into the government's COVID-19 response. Former Director Anthony Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment multiple times during his testimony before the Senate Homeland Security Committee this last week. I don't care what your political stance is. One lesson should unite all of us. Don't assume healthcare systems will always function exactly the way it did yesterday. Make sure your family has the prescription medications, the basic medical supplies you'll need if access to that care happens to be disrupted. Now, here's your preparedness challenge for the week. Pick one skill to improve. Maybe build a fire without lighter fluid. Or maybe learn how to purify water and the different ways to do that. Or using a paper map. Or replace the batteries in your emergency flashlight. These small improvements made consistently will prepare you far better than buying another gadget you'll ever use. I'll be doing the same. I'm heading into the mountains this weekend. And I'll share a few lessons from the trail when I get back next week. All right, I'm Asay. I'm with Jase Response, and I want you to have a safe weekend, and I'll see you on the trail.